Yo, 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 welcome back once again to an episode of Marks and Mikes. You already know who it is by the sound of my voice. That's right, it's your boy, Mr. 6'9", JT, back in this piece once again. And of course, I'm joined by my co-host, L Cheech. What's going on, Poppy?
Good evening, my fellow Americans. How y'all doing on this lovely Sunday evening?
Man, nice, calm, cool, collective, laying in the cut like a band-aid, trying to make sure that I'm cooling it at all times. But with that being said, I definitely got to thank all y'all for definitely checking out the latest episodes of Marks with Mikes from the podcast. Of course, like, follow, subscribe. We are available everywhere, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Stitcher, Tuned In. Look, you get the drift. We are everywhere that podcasts are available. Follow, like, subscribe. Of course, on social media, follow us at Marshall Mikes. I'm not going to spell it. That's the same thing on Twitter, IG, and the Book of Faces, which you probably watching us live on right now. Same thing with YouTube. But let me get this started, man. Look, crazy week. From what happened, far as this week in wrestling, I should say last week. Gotta start off with it, man. Coming off the helms of WrestleMania, that had to be the worst Raw at the Mania ever.
Um, I didn't, I didn't even watch it. To be honest, um, you know what I mean. Even though I could say, ever since WrestleMania in New York, the last day of the Shield being together, to me, ever since that Mania after, that Raw after Mania, it hasn't been the same. You know what I mean? 'Cause that year was kind of like little, but this past weekend, I mean, from Monday, like I said, I didn't even watch it because I didn't even have no, before you had like some type of rumors or whatever, but I get it was obvious shitty because it didn't even catch my attention. I didn't even watch it.
You saved yourself about 3 hours of your life at the end of the day, man. No real big surprises at all whatsoever. A lot of rematches, WrestleMania Backlash, which I think is
Oh,
the dumbest.
what the new commentators, I guess, new group.
I mean, yeah, that's about it. I mean, there's a reason for that, which we'll get to. But, you know, I'm not even I don't know. It was kind of like a waste at the end of the day, man, a complete waste. But I'm definitely glad that that was over. Nothing really exciting came out that episode. Like I was highly disappointed. But it is what it is, man. Of course, NXT topping things off. I mean, besides that, Charlotte coming back was the only big return you could throw out there. Charlotte. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, of course, she came in. She cuts a promo, big good promo. I'm pretty sure, and yeah, it, it is. You know what I mean? Like the division runs through her. You know what I'm saying? And it's good to see her there, I guess. But it's it's just stuff that we have seen. You know what I mean? The the women's division. You know what I mean? They hasn't been as hot. You know what I mean? As it been in a few years. So hopefully, with all these people coming back, you know. But you would think, right, that WrestleMania, the Raw after Mania, that's like the beginning of the new season. You know what I mean? So whatever was going on, it ended at Mania. At least that's the way at one point it seemed to be. That's the way. Now you got what?
Psych.
WrestleMania Backlash, you know? WrestleMania Backlash, like what the fuck? It's like, come on, man. What else? Dele, dele,
I
dele,
don't.
dele,
I don't
dele,
think
dele.
any thought effort went into that. I don't think any
Nothing.
thought effort went into that at all. It was like, it was like we need something to make this pop. Make people want to watch it. Let's just throw WrestleMania on everything. WrestleMania Backlash, WrestleMania Money in the Bank, WrestleMania SummerSlam, but NXT kicked things off just right, man. I mean, starting off on this new day on Tuesdays, and they did the thing, man. I mean, it was a good way to kick off Tuesday. They end up having somewhere around possibly, I don't know, like 807,000 views or what have you. I don't think anyone cares at this point about ratings unless you're a new company. But you know, I wasn't too much worried about the ratings. But yeah, they did good. It was a big jump. Um, good good matches on NXT, by the way. Real good matches this past Tuesday. You catch any in that?
Oh yeah, man. It's just the thought like, oh shit, this today's Tuesday. This wrestling. And it's just like that booking backwards. You know what I mean? They have you lose, 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 and next thing you know, boom, you're going for like a belt or something. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you see, Kushida, big, you know what I
Shout
mean?
out to Kushida.
Kushida. He next thing you know, he loses against Dunn, and next thing you know, boom, he's the champ. You know what I mean? And Matt Riddle, same thing. You know what I mean? He losing. Next thing, even though he got the belt just because of I guess Keith Lee's illness. You know, but I think that might cause him later. But yeah, that Kushida match, it was it was pretty good from that night, and it felt good. You know what I'm saying? Like having that wrestling there, having wrestling on
Yeah,
Tuesdays.
I'm not even gonna lie though. Like I went into that match once they said Kushida going up against Santos Escobar. I was like, oh, Kushida finna lose because this man never gets the title. I mean, he never gets the title.
Wrong. Wrong.
And I was totally wrong about that, man, because when he won, I was like, yo, it's just like, oh, snap. So they actually gonna do something. Hey, what's going on, Michelangelo? What's going on, JJ? How you doing? Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for tuning in. Big talk, real talk. But my top moment from possibly that night of NXT would have probably had to been Kushida winning in that MSK match going up against gosh, I always mess up his name. Drake Maverick and what's the other one's name from Sanity, who used to be a monster?
Who?
The dude who used to be in Killian Dame. Killian Dame
Oh,
and Drake Maverick going up against MSK. To me, that was definitely the moment from that night, as far as matches. And then, of course, the big moment towards the end, closing out NXT, was seeing Raquel Gonzalez come down as NXT Women's Champion. I see a little, story brewing between her and Dakota Kai already. Like you could tell by the jealous look she was giving her and everything like that.
I mean, that's I know, it's written. You know what I mean? It was written. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy that what they came from. All of them from the Mae Young Classic. Like I said, they've been wrestling the Indies, but let's be honest. You pay attention to them once they got into WWE, and
Yeah, I mean that's what it is.
Yeah, and it was dope seeing them and actually seeing the other two, pop up in there, which is crazy, in less than 4 years. You know what I mean? Like all three now, debuting at the Mae Young, now they're champions on the respective brands, and that shit like a testament, let's say, to Paul Levesque. You know what I mean? For everything he done right there with the NXT shit.
Mr. Levick. I mean, he did an awesome job, man. I mean, with those three women. I mean, just looking at the growth from all three of them, it's definitely a testament to all the work that's put into NXT as a product. You know what I'm saying, as far as the PC, the character development, and things of that nature. Like, definitely just seeing those three women. I mean, if you go back and you just look at these three women from when they first started, like you said, Mae Young Classic to now, at that time, the women's division and NXT had just been, pretty much saturated, like pretty much uprooted. You had Charlotte, you had Becky, Bailey, Sasha, Asuka, everybody was on the main roster, so with everybody being on the main roster, it really made the women's division work hard. I mean, you go back, you look at this photo right here, what I'm saying? This is them when they were just getting that spotlight in NXT as women to wreck with, as far as the women's division. Then you fast forward 2021, and that says it all. You know what I'm saying? So this is a beautiful look. I'm definitely excited about that. But another thing, I definitely, that Dakota, not Dakota Kai, but Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis storyline, like, I don't know where it's going, but I'm definitely there for the ride. I'm there for it. I'm all for it. I am all for it at all time. Like, I definitely got to see definitely got to see that. Hold on 1 second. Yo, man, what the fuck? I'm not even gonna acknowledge that. I don't even know why even. Yeah, dude, that's kind of foul, my dude. Like, that's not even something we even talk about at all.
Yeah. I don't think he didn't meant it like that. You know what I'm saying? I think he probably like, the business, but yeah, in this day and age, what I mean? It's just, of course,
Yeah, dude.
yeah, it's
Uh,
crazy.
with that
Yeah,
being
but,
said, 30-second clip. I gotta play a 30-second clip to get that out of our minds real quick. But that to me had to be the greatest payoff. Far as less than 4 years, like you said, building them from the ground up and things like that. And then you got people like Dakota Kai. You got people like Tegan Knox. You also got people like Candice LeRae, Annie Hartwell. These are your next thing of women to be called up.
no, but yeah, and then you got the new people falling in, like Taya, you know what I mean, Valkyrie, aka Frankie
Frankie
what?
Monette.
Frankie
Frankie
Monet,
Monette.
you know what I mean, and that's gonna be a nice match between her and Raquel for sure. Cause Taya, la güera loca, she always puts on. You know what I mean? So that that was dope.
You know what's sad though? That dog the dog has had more TV time than most of the new people that have been signed on NXT. That's real sad, yo. But like as promised, 30-second clip. Like I said, Dakota Kai. I mean, not Dakota Kai, but Annie Hartwell, Dexter Lumis. I want to see how this goes, but Someone posted this. I want to say it was Tiff on IG, but she posted this, and did you see the part where Indy just lays out and wants Dexter to carry her and stuff like that?
Yeah, she kind of
Pat.
looked like, yeah, like they that the fatal attraction type of deal. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, the little damsel in distress, right?
yes.
So check this out.
It doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. With Mentos fresh and full of life, nothing gets to you. Staying fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life, fresh goes better. Mentos fresh goes better with Mentos fresh and full of life. Mentos, the fresh maker.
Yo, I thought that was timeless. Shout out to whoever made that video. Real talk. Okay. All right. So moving on from that, man. I do like the fact that we have a clear schedule of wrestling. Just you got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday for your pay-per-views and Sundays for your pay-per-views, but Monday was Raw, Tuesday was NXT, and Wednesday solo by themselves was AEW. Dynamite brought them some big numbers, man. 1.2 million, their second highest ever rating, if you care about that. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely a great show. I ain't taking nothing away from it.
Yeah, it worked out, you know what I mean, for both shows, because both shows got higher numbers, you know what I mean, and that you know what I mean, give us more opinions and options, because we don't have to like choose what to watch first and stuff like that. So now you could get to watch everything like on time. But yeah, man, they got that first match, the Bucks against the
Yeah.
Death Triangle. But this dude
Yeah.
stunting on some Dior, you know what I mean, Jordan 1s and shit that supposedly, you know what I mean, they cost $10,000.
Cap.
They
Big
were
cap.
saying that there was a time that there was a big you know I don't know if it was a bus or something, like they were selling fake Dior Jordans or some shit like that. So they were saying perhaps they were just using those, to stunt, but still, you know what I mean? It's now you know, they're heels, the Young Bucks, lining up now with Omega, the Good Brothers. Don Callis popping up with them now. Yeah, but
And they got rid of the little tassels on the ring gear too. So it's like, ooh, they're real heels now. So I can't wait to see what happens with that.
No more dangling.
But you know what though? The match was fuego, man. Death Triangle, Bucks. Ray Phoenix is probably, to me, in my opinion, if I'm ranking current cruiserweight, Lucha Libre, he's definitely in my top three right now. Currently right now, cruiserweight wise, he's in my top three. Yo, ain't nobody doing what Ray Phoenix is doing right now. Did you see the one spot where he's walking on ropes, bounces from the third rope, bounces to the second rope, bounces back up? I'm just like, look at the footwork on dude. He does it effortlessly. It's not like he even think about it.
Yeah, he been doing that, you know what I mean, for the longest. Now he's in a bigger stage. You know what I mean? That's a regular show, you know what I mean? But though, you know what I mean, he was supposed to come here to AIW and didn't show up. But anyway, that's another story. But yeah, man, dude is a monster. Obviously you see Pentagon, I guess he's hurt. You know what I mean? So he's not wrestling now, but the
Man,
dude, you know what
I
I mean?
need him to stay healthy.
Yeah, I think, you know what I mean, Phoenix should be by himself, but over there is the land of the factions, you know what I mean? So you get a faction, you get a faction, you get a faction. You feel me? So that's what it be. It be feeling like that over there at A-Dub. Yeah, but you know, all the spots, you know, and now it's like the Bucks are, you know, mean and shit like that. So, you know, now you can see, you know what I mean? You can see that you can see that they mean business, you know.
Yeah, they definitely mean business. But my whole thing, like what you said, to touch on that, it's too many factions to even keep count. Like I'm trying to really think of them all. But if you just name like if you can name more than 5 factions, something's up. Okay, you got the elite. Okay, you got the Mike.
Factory.
Yeah, the factory, the nightmare family, Dark Order, Death Triangle. What was Eddie Kingston's faction? He has one. That's 6.
No, that shit broke up.
Oh, it broke up. Oh,
Yeah,
look, it
remember
don't even matter.
The Busher and the Blade, they were mad.
Oh, Matt Hardy, that's number 6. Yeah, keep going. It's another one on there, dog. Like I'm trying to tell you, they have at least 7 factions right now.
Yeah,
7.
you got the Pinnacle.
That's 7. Hold on, wait. The Pinnacle, and you all, the first ever faction I forgot about, the Inner Circle. That's 8. Yo, they got
now you see the Best Friends. You know what I mean? It's
9.
them 3, Chris Stanlander, and then you got the group with
Luchasaurus.
What is it? Benoni, and Drake, and the other dude.
Okay, that's 9. Then you got
Cass.
Lucha. That's 10. Luchasaurus, Sugar Boy.
Yeah, that one.
Yo, that's about 12. That's enough to start a football league, bro. Real talk. Like if we talking football, that's enough to start a football league, NBA league. Like, and I don't know if it's by design, if that's what they're trying to do, as far as having all these different teams or different factions. But it's hard to keep, track of. You don't know who clicked up with who, and then some of these factions they click up together. So, you know what I'm saying? Yo, Mike Angelo, we definitely agree with you. Like, matter of fact, Mikey, let us know how many factions AEW have, and we'll get back to that later. But I'm gonna ride with 12. 12 factions. How long? Wait. Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, they're now a faction.
Well,
that's 13. Well, okay, that's 10.
Well, what you call a faction? More than 3?
Yeah, you're right. More than 3. Okay, I'll give you that. But moving on from there, of course, we talking about the first match. We didn't even get to all the juicy stuff. But speaking of juicy stuff, got to keep it moving and going. You had one of the vignettes. You had MJF in the back talking to Tyson, trying to pay him off, Mike Tyson, and looked like he had a hard time tearing up a check. It's like, bro, you can't rip a T-shirt, you can't rip a check. What's going on? It's like,
you see when he's trying to spit it out in the paper.
But you know what? It paid off. It paid off at the end of the day when you look at it. It ended up paying off because Tyson ends up later on that night actually catching Cash Wheeler square in the face. Yo, He was trying to throw a open hand fist. Didn't happen. Tyson been boxing for too long. All right, okay. His mind went to boxing, and he clocked the old boy. Like if you go back and you look at it, you can see Tyson's fist print right on Cash Wheeler's face. Like I'm gonna pull up the picture later, but yeah, Tyson clocked him. But Tyson's the only person to be a part of two factions. One DX and the Inner Circle. He's only person to be a part of two factions, WWE and AEW. Think about that. The first ever. So shout out to Tyson. Of course, Thursday, Impact Wrestling moved to Thursday, but we'll get to that in a second. More matches on Impact. On AEW. That Red Velvet versus Jade match. That's the one.
It looked like they've been doing it for a while, and we, of course, we know that they just started working. You know what I mean? But that girl, man, they built her like that on the girl version of Goldberg. You know what I mean? Just have her unstoppable, and she looks sharp. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she's learning by the minute. But it was a good match. So it seems now everything's coming into fruition. Like the female division over there in AEW.
Yeah, I mean, I tweeted out there like, my interest is now peaked with the women's division in AEW now. So I'm definitely, it has my interest now because they definitely have some more hitters out there versus what they had previously. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't what they had previously wasn't up to par, but when you look at and try to compare to other women's divisions as far as the level that it was at, it just wasn't there yet, fam. But you got a Jade and a Red Velvet who was also undefeated, during her time on Dynamite, and then she got signed. But that was good. I mean, Red Velvet is good far as for AEW's women's division. And you also look at the fact that they're trying to do something. Looks like Britt Baker, look like Thunder Rosa, it may be a triple threat for the AEW Women's Championship. We'll see what happens. But a debut happened. Anthony Ogogo.
Ogogo. He was a boxer, was in the Olympics and stuff. He brought him in, and he had his first match. He won by stoppage by the referee because he punched the dude's intestines, pushed him in and shit. And I don't know, he done some commentary, you know what I mean? So he got that the British accent. But my dude, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? What you thought about Togogo?
Big cap. I'm gonna call that right now. I just didn't like it. I think we haven't seen enough of them. You get what I'm saying? Like that little brief moment was good. You know what I'm saying? Because it keeps him hidden. It keeps him strong. Just in case he has any weaknesses right now in his arsenal, it keeps him strong. So you don't have to necessarily worry about him being too much exposed if you want to go there. But Anthony Ogogo, I don't know, bro. I just wasn't feeling. I wasn't feeling that whole. I wasn't feeling the whole punch to the stomach and boom, there we go. Like that's the end of the match. It's like, come on, bro. This ain't no Street Fighter. Stop it, man. Like, if for y'all who did not see what we talking about, I'll play the clip here in a second. It was very short. Punched him in the stomach. That was it. And I'm just sitting there like, really, really, that's what's popping in the streets. You're just gonna punch dude in the stomach, and that's the end of the match.
Junior Olympic champion was judged to be the most outstanding boxer and 10 times British champ. Oh, what a sickening.
So basically, I kind of feel like, to me, nah, I mean, if this was a real fight, then yes, I would expect that. But, this is pro wrestling, man. Like, some things, some things we can get away with, other things we can't. I just kind of feel like that's one of the ones. Like, I really hope that's not his finisher, because if that's his finisher, I'm out. Like, I have zero interest.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? There's been plenty of boxers in the game, you know what I mean? And I don't know, but
I mean, that's the case. Brock Lesnar should have been hitting people in the stomach when he first came back to WWE. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
remember Ken Shamrock? Yeah. Ken Shamrock was the first one, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that should have been Ken Shamrock finisher then, the punch to the stomach. But, hopefully it blows over. I mean, I don't expect for this to be, his finisher. If it is, so be it. Yeah, Mike Angelo, the gut punch, which to me, that was weak for a debut, if you're talking about a debut. But AEW in a nutshell, though, it was a pretty solid show. Very solid. I could definitely rock with that as far as what AEW put out for the content. Minus Anthony Ogogo with the gut punch, but everything else was solid.
Yeah. What do you think? Miro had a little promo. So what what was that all about?
Man, listen here, bro. And I love Miro, aka Rusev. I mean, he had WrestleMania lit for 2 years straight with Rusev Day. But I think if you're gonna wait, and this is no shade to AEW or Miro, but Miro has been signed to AEW since I want to say September, October. I could be wrong. Honestly, I don't care if I'm wrong or not. But you wait all the way until we're in April to give him a vignette. You didn't even give him a vignette when he debuted it, because you all about the surprises. Oh my God, look who it is. It's like, no, you totally did that wrong. Yes, we already know the face, but you should have gave him a vignette from the jump. And for you to give us this vignette after he's been this gamer this whole time from the jump, nothing more serious, and we're supposed to take him serious, then I kind of feel like at this point it's a lost cause. I mean, if you're going to do that, take him on TV for a while before you drop a vignette, because he just had a match last Dynamite before that, and then you put him on here, and it's like, no, take him on TV for a minute, like at least until Double or Nothing, and then bring him back. But don't give me a vignette like the next week after. Like, it's like I don't know if they recorded that beforehand, and then it's like, oh, let's just drop this real quick. It's like I don't think any thought process went into that at all.
Yeah, it seems like they do that. Like they do some, live shit, but then they record stuff and put it in between. Who knows? But yeah, I was like, okay.
Yeah. At that point, I was like, all right, okay, I hear you, Miro. I'm gonna take you serious, because apparently you serious now, or what have you. But other than that, man, I mean, to me, complete waste far as with Miro. But we'll see what happens, what they do. Hopefully, it's something strong. Don't get me wrong, like great talent, but I just don't like the way that they've been treating them. You know, as far as that goes, like the treatment's been bad. Treatment's been bad, man. They could go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, man. Moving on to the main event, right?
Yeah, the main event was dope. Jericho and Dax.
No, it was Darby and Matt.
I'm sorry, Darby and
Yeah,
Matt. My bad.
yeah, but I forgot about that match. My bad. Yeah, that Jericho and that's when
That's when
Tyson and all that.
Tyson texted with Cash.
Yeah, check it. What you thought about that old hoopla?
I mean, like I said, with Jericho and Dax, I thought it was okay. It was good to give these guys, especially Dax, a single match. Being that these guys rarely compete as singles competitors. You get what I'm saying? Especially when they were signed to WWE, it was very rarely that they competed as singles competitors unless somebody was hurt. But to see them get their shine, yeah. Dax did that, man. Dax is solid old school wrestler, old school look, old school move set, brain buster, all that. I mean, it was nice. It was good. I just hope that, because they're trying to build up to this blood and guts, aka War Games. So they're trying to build up to the blood and guts match, which I think is a missed opportunity. Not doing a blood and guts match versus AEW versus Impact Wrestling, but I don't book this. That's a whole different story.
Yeah, you see the artwork? They did they got the posters for that. They kind of did the War Games, the first War Games.
Yeah.
They have the same graphic and stuff.
Oh yeah. Cool. I mean, it's smart marketing. You know what I'm saying? That's real smart. So if you're gonna do it right. If you go market it right. Why not? But I thought that they killed that match with the main event, Matt Hardy and Derby. It was good up until everybody started coming out. It's like, why does every episode got to end with chaos? You just can't have an episode where the champion just wins the belt and that's it, or retains the belt and that's it. No, you got to have 45 different factions come out and fight. It's like, for what? Like, what's the point? What's the point, yo? Like, please tell me there's a point behind that, Cheech. Please tell me.
There's no point.
None at all, bro. It's like it's a waste. I kind of felt like, they I don't know, bro. It's kind of like you got to pick and choose when you're going to insert certain moments. When you do that same moment over and over again, it's not special anymore. So nothing about, Taz's faction coming out was special. Nothing about Matt Hardy's faction coming out. Sting coming out. I mean, Sting's even lost his, I'm not gonna say he's lost anything physically, but the mystique of, oh, it's Sting. It's like y'all do this every week. Every week Sting is coming down. And don't get me wrong, it worked in WCW, but we're in 2021 where attention spans are that short. You know what I'm saying? So if we see something, it's all okay. It's almost like you scrolling down your phone, right? And you're on IG. Like, and if you see the same video being done by different people, it's like, all right, I've already seen the video. I don't need to watch the video. At that point, you don't even care that person's take on this particular subject matter. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the whole Sting thing's being done to death. It really is. But it's going to build to something between Sting and Darby Allin. The payout's going to be Sting versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship. That's what I believe. But what did you think about? What did you think about the match?
I mean, the match, to me, Matt Hardy, he'd been in many of them matches, but at this state of his career, should he be doing them type of matches? I don't think he should. I mean, even that little, you know what I mean, that little move he did up the ladder to the table, you know, it looked like it hurt it. You know what I mean? He was all stiff and shit, you know. And it was it was entertaining because all them bumps, you know what I mean? And yeah, Matt Hardy was to go, and shout out to him because it's like, you know, he's in the main event, and he just a few days earlier he had lost his dad, you know. That, you know, I think that was kind of like, you know, kind of dope for AEW to do that, you know. Put him on the main event, you know, a few days after losing his dad. And, you know, he came through, you know.
I guess that was his way of, you know, coping what was going on, you know. And my thoughts, prayers go out to him, Jeff, the family, you know what I'm saying? So definitely that's something that, you know, we don't want to face, you know what I'm saying? But for him to go out there and put on a show with that looming on his mind, still fresh, hats off to him, real talk. But that was dope. We got to move on to Impact Wrestling. First of all, I'm just going to go ahead and put this out here first and foremost. Got to do this. I know you heard about the announcement. That's right.
Yeah. That's kind of dope, you know.
Kind of. Bro, that's moral, bro.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's dope, you know what I'm saying? It just
that's the voice of sports.
Yeah. Hell yeah, that's
Combat
big.
Sports.
Yeah, definitely.
That's NXT's play-by-play guy for the last 4 years, minus him leaving earlier last year.
Yeah, he does. I believe he does some Bellator. He does some you know, Showtime. You
And
know
he did Thriller Fight Club too. The first
yeah,
one.
yeah, you're right. So yeah, he's well known when it comes to that. So the fact that, you know, Impact was able to grab him, you know what I'm saying, and to call that match, it gives that match, you know what I'm saying, more, but it gives it more of a stage, you know.
It does, but I kind of feel like this, man. Once again, they did a bad job with this build to this match. They did a horrible job with it. If this is just my opinion, you know, for y'all who don't really care for my opinion, kick rocks with no shoes on, like, you know, painful. But when I think about it, man, it's like, okay, the whole storyline was supposed to be, you know, Omega coming over to Impact, you know, basically, you know, swinging this Johnson around like, yeah, this is my, you know, this is my territory now, what have you. But, you know, you had this forbidden door open, right? How many Impact Wrestling guys besides Gallows and Anderson went over to AEW? Go ahead, count them.
No, nobody yet.
That's it. It's nobody yet. The pay-per-view is this coming Sunday. It's too late now. You know what I'm saying? It's like you had what, 2 months, almost 3 months. Let's just say 2 months. 2 months of some change to really, really build this. And how many times has Rich Swann been on AEW's program? 0. So I kind of feel like even with bringing Morrow in right now, and I love Morrow and I love what Impact is doing, but I kind of feel like Impact got the shorter end of the stick with this storyline. It's like Kenny Omega was on there, maybe four or 5 times, if that. Okay. Then you look at the fact with the paid ads everywhere, every week from Tony Khan. You know, other than the paid ads and Private Party coming over from AEW, nothing was really done to build this, to have the wrestling world's interest. Because at the end of the day, we already know what the outcome's going to be. The outcome's going to be Omega grabbing the championship, collecting the Affinity Stones, if you will, and moving on to the next. But it's not really a big build. I don't know. Is it just me, or do you feel that way too?
Yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? It could have been something bigger, but I guess, it is what it is. Like, I guess they, content with the exposure that it's getting. You know what I mean? And
But what exposure?
I mean, the times that they've been, you know what I mean, Omega been over there. People that follow AEW or Omega might be checking it out, in Japan. So,
Man, won't nobody checking for that, bro. One nobody checking for that online. Like, oh, like, nah. I don't think anyone was checking for it. To be quick, to be completely honest, this whole build up, I really hope the match is going to be great. You got Rich Swann, you got Omega. It's going to be good. Some people say they'd rather see Moose. At the end of the day, this storyline, straight boo-boo.
Hated it.
It's straight boo-boo. Like, I kind of feel like it could have been done better. Like I said, Impact got the shorter end of the stick with this whole entire storyline. Omega doesn't need more titles, and I'm with that because he barely defends the Triple A championship. So it's like, for what? What's the purpose? What's the purpose? Real talk.
yeah, I don't know. I'm just putting, because how Meltzer and how to some people's eyes, he's the #1 wrestler in the world, or was at one point, so being held in high regards.
Ain't nobody come to see him, Otis. But okay, let's see this comment. You want to respond to that one, bro? I don't know if I'm gonna respond to that. Yo, Dougie, you wildin', B. You wildin'. I mean, I don't know, bro. I can't answer that one.
No.
Can't answer that one. But moving on through Impact, they had some good moments on there, man. One of the matches that really set the tone for the night, far as in my opinion. I think it was, I want to say, TJP versus Josh Alexander. That set the tone for the night.
That match was fucking incredible. It was a hell of a match. It's especially like that, to open up the show like that. I was like, oh wow.
Yeah, it definitely set the tone for the night, man. Those two tearing it down. Josh Alexander is a beast. Period. You know what I'm saying? I like Josh Alexander as a solo, but better as him in a tag team. I'll put that out there. And there's no shade. It's no shade to It's no shade to anyone, you know what I'm saying? But I like Josh Alexander as a solo act. He's good. You know what I'm saying? Like them investing inside him these last few years and currently, I think it's good, you know, far as the investment they put into him. TJP already proven, you know, X Division champion, former cruiserweight champion, you know, and he's a vet. But to see them two work, you know, it's not their first time working, but to see them work and to set the tone for them moving to Thursday nights, it was definitely a good way to say, yo, hey, we back on Thursday nights. Make sure y'all tuning in. This is what y'all gonna see. I like that match. The next match, Crazy Steve, Carl Anderson. I mean, it's not a match that I think that that people were clamoring for, but at the same time, a match is a match. You know, they put something out there. I don't think it was. I don't want to say. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't the greatest. That's just my opinion. Eddie Edwards calling out Violence by Design. And then, you know, think about this faction. Once again, 2-hour show. How many factions does Impact have?
Let's say 2.
Maybe 2, maybe 1. 1 or 2. Violence by Design is the only one that comes to my mind right now.
And the other one, you know, Crazy Decay.
Oh yeah, the Decay. 2 factions. That's it. But you know, Eddie Edwards coming out. You know, you got Rhino coming down, Diener, Joe During, of course, EY coming out. Then, you know, Cowboy James Storm and Chris Sabin come there for the steal. I mean, to save it. So I'm definitely happy that, you know, we may see some things go down. But I think one of the tear-jerking moments from Impact had to be the announcement that Jazz finally announced man, and I wish that she would have been able to have a longer running Impact. You know what I'm saying? Like, once again, you know, she can go as long as she wants to go. This is totally on her. But, you know, stipulations are stipulations that are stipulations. But Jazz announcing her retirement, man, I was I don't know, man. I'm a little bit held back by that. Because I kind of feel like, you know, there's so many matches that could be had with the Impact women's division, you know?
Yeah, I mean, she'd probably be working behind the scenes, or, you know, I think she'd be working, you know, with Thunder Rosa too. So perhaps,
Yeah, in Texas. In Texas.
so perhaps they have like some type of like a filter, you know, like a line of for talent for the girls, you know, for Impact. So she probably has, you know, have some hands on that, you know.
Oh, I get you saying like a pipeline, like a feeder.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mike Angelo says Jordan Grace and Jazz get a title shot at Rebellion. I mean, I really hope that they win because I want to see more Jazz on Impact. Real talk. But I mean, once we move on from that, man, and you got the pick your poison match, Matt Cardona and Brian Myers. Myers and Cardona look good, man. They look good. I mean, that just shows you the missed opportunity that WWE had with those two. Like, far as like really letting them go, just cutting off the strings and say, hey, all right, y'all go do you. Instead of saying, no, you're gonna be this character, you're gonna be this character, and this is all you ever gonna be until we want you to turn heel. Like, nah, I like this. So I don't know, man. I think that it's definitely gonna be. I think it's definitely gonna be something when it does come down to Rebellion, because that match is gonna go down. But I think that match just may steal the show. All right. Got you. Okay. Moving on from them, man. I mean, the press conference wasn't, I mean, it was the press conference. If you ever watch boxing, that's what you got out of it. But moving on from them, man. Friday Night SmackDown did what it does every single week, steal the show, still a whole entire week. But before we get there, man, we got to talk about these releases. You know how many release? Yo, Black Wednesday's anniversary was on the same Thursday as Impact, the same actual date, right? This had to be the dirtiest thing ever done by a company when you think about it. And this is just looking at it from the outside looking in, as you know, versus actually, you know, being inside the loop. But you know, last year, Wednesday, in 2020, they let go over 30 some employees, right? And if anyone remembers Black Wednesday and how devastating that was, you know that, you know, it was just something that a lot of the wrestlers didn't care to relive or even want to try to talk about or mention, because it was just a moment that came out of nowhere, right? So you fast forward to this year, and they end up releasing, I want to say, 12 wrestlers on the anniversary of the date of Black Wednesday. Like, who does that, bro? Who does that?
It was foul.
That's dirty. It's like, you know, that's dirty. That's cold-blooded. That's me, you know, it's that's some cold-blooded stuff right there, man. It's like, oh, okay, y'all trying to commemorate something from last year? Check this out. And it's like, damn. Yeah, you're right. You did, man. I think that was kind of messed up, man. But you know, looking at it, man, I mean, these are all the people that were released last year. And then when you look at the people that were released this year, and I'll just go down the names real quick. Let me go down these names real quick. 1 second. Now, this was definitely this to me. I think that was Do-Rag Vince McMahon. I don't think it was this Vince McMahon that did that, but just going down the names of the people that were released, the biggest shocker to everybody would have had to been Joe. But let's just go down the names real quick. Billy Kay, Chelsea Green, Mickey James, Wesley Blake, Tucker, Kalisto. Samoa Joe was the biggest name that surprised everybody. Peyton Royce, Bo Dallas, like all these people released for what? You released the Iconics, mind you, former women's tag team champions, but why would you release them when your women's division is suffering? Do you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't release them. I mean, I know you just signed a bunch of people, a whole bunch of people, but not all of them are ready to be called up. So you need to keep as much people as you can to keep that going, to keep that afloat.
Word.
But
yeah, definitely. I mean, out of all of them, the name that surprised me the most was Samoa Joe. You know what I mean? And I guess it's fucked up, but they they see him, I guess, as a liability because it seems whenever once he got into the main roster, he just kept getting hurt. You know what I mean? And I guess he wanted to wrestle perhaps, and he got let go. And now we should look, in the summer, see where will he decide to go to. The Chelsea Green too. That was kind of like, damn, she couldn't catch a break either. She kept getting hurt. But it's a good, you know what I mean, like a beginning of a new journey because there's plenty of places now, so they're gonna be all right. You know.
I mean, yeah, they're gonna be all right regardless, but you know what I'm saying? I just once again it's like, why would you release these people on the day of the anniversary of you doing 32 people just a year before that during the pandemic? But yeah, this to me, real talk, this definitely do-rag Vince. Do-rag Vince hands all over this. I don't like the fact that do-rag Vince out here releasing people, but all these people will land on their feet. I mean, but if you go down the list, Mickey James, I almost forgot about that. But you know what I'm saying? Why would you release a female locker room leader? Thank you, Mike Angelo. You got a vet there, bro. A vet, like an original vet. A vet that can possibly help groom some of these women. I mean, you could have gave Mickey James another run with the title, even if it was just a few months. I would appreciate that. But you look at all these people that was released. There's so many homes out there. You got AEW, you got Impact Wrestling, you got Ring of Honor, who just celebrated their 500th episode, by the way, and it was Fuego. I did catch that, but you got all these places these women can go, and the same thing for the men. It's like, yes, it's good for the wrestling business to spread around these talent, but if you're trying to save your division right now, which you desperately need, I wouldn't have released none of them until after Survivor Series or some shit like that. But that's to release them like right after Mania. I mean, at least they got their Mania moments. I mean, you look at it like that.
Samoa Joe got his, WrestleMania moment on a poncho under the ring.
Oh, no, man. But 7 years in WWE and he didn't hold the WWE title. That's a waste. That's a big waste. I mean, the U.S. title, yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying? But we all know that's a mid-card title. There's no way that Samoa Joe shouldn't have held the WWE Championship at least once. One time. Yeah. But, injuries. I mean, some of his best promo work was on SmackDown. Well, his feud with AJ Styles and, the part when he comes up, when everyone's in the ring and everyone's trying to tee off against Daniel Bryan. And he goes, hey, Jeff, why don't you act like this is an AA meeting and shut your mouth while I'm sharing with the class? Like, that's a classic line. That's going to be played for years to come. You know what I'm saying? And he goes up to AJ Styles, hey, be honest, how's our girl Wendy doing? Like, I'm like, yo, you get rid of someone who was good on the microphone, good on the ring. That's stupid. But once again, I don't know what their financial situation is, talking about budget cuts. Like, I don't know. I'm not in their wallet. I'm not Capital One. But at the same time, I just kind of feel like, y'all could have waited. Because I don't believe there was a financial issue. You just got $1.3 million from NBC for the WWE network. So, yeah, not a financial issue.
And that's not even including Fox money. the Saudi Arabia money. Like,
Nah.
come on.
Billions. Okay. These people have raked in billions of dollars within the last 2 years or a year and a half. They raked in almost $3 billion as a company. No, it is $3 billion. And you can't tell me that anything less than it. It's not a budget thing. It's because you don't know what to do. Like Leo Rush said it best on his Twitter. So you mean to tell me that there's not 12 writers right now that you can't go and get rid of because they don't know what they're doing? I mean, at the end of the day, you know, if you got writers there, it's the writers that should be the ones leaving. You know, hire some new writers to work with these talent. But moving on from that, man. Friday Night SmackDown was good, man. Once again, new commentary team, Pat McAfee, on commentary of Michael Cole. I don't know, fam. How you feel about that?
That the news broke in late, and it was kind of okay. You know, the dude is entertaining, but it wasn't something, I want to see, wrestling or whatever. But it also was kind of lackluster in the sense of, nobody really made a no debut, nothing really. The only thing I could say is that it seems that Cesaro, for once, gonna start being put in the main event, picture. See if he actually gets it, gets the match.
Yeah. Michael Cole and SmackDown showing the UFO, him spitting Seth Rollins with no hands. Like, to me, it's gonna get old real quick because anytime something comes out that gets a big pop, they're gonna shove it down our throats. So I kind of feel like, Michael Cole can ruin a wet dream, and he just ruined that. But I don't know, man. I kind of feel like when it does come down to it, SmackDown was entertaining, but it wasn't as entertaining. I don't know. It's just I feel like the Raw and the SmackDown at the Mania kind of fell flat, if you ask me. I don't know, Mikey. What you think? I definitely agree with that. I think Samoa Joe and Joe Green should go back to Impact, or maybe Samoa Joe goes back to ROH. You think about that though? I mean, you got ROH out there, you got MLW out there. ROH going to really have a tournament for the women's title. Perfect place for every single one of those women to go, as far as doing that. So you got Mickie James, you got Peyton Royce, you got Billie Kay, Chelsea Green. You got all these people that have opportunity to go compete in ROH, or whether that be Impact, but it's a place where they can all get exposure, or they can go to AEW. It doesn't matter. I just feel like you should spread them around as much as you can at this moment, because if you don't spread them around, then you're going to end up, basically in the same situation, a stacked roster with no people. You know what I mean? Now, Cheech, you back?
Yeah. But
NWA Power as well. You right.
yeah, that's been popping. So they got so many places to actually go right now. MLW still popping.
Yeah, but MLW doesn't have a women's division yet. If they had a women's division, I mean, I would say that it's one place that all the talents to go to. But you are right. MLW is popping. Samoa Joe can go to MLW. Tucker can go to MLW. Tucker can go to NWA. He can go to ROH. He can go to AEW. He can go to Impact. There's so many places where these people can go. I just kind of feel like, at this point, whatever is done after July, I feel like they need to make a big impact, a real big impact wherever they go. No pun intended. Not saying that everyone should go to Impact, but I'm just saying they need to make an impact. And if you're going to make an impact anywhere, you got to make sure that what your last move is something that is no longer remembered. You know what I'm saying? So I think personally, we definitely got a lot of things to look forward to coming up. Double or Nothing's coming up next month in May. All Out is going to be in Chicago, depending on COVID regulations. So much going on, but at this point, man, the last week in wrestling was definitely something big. Definitely, if you have not checked out ROH's 500th episode, go to Honor Club. Go check it out there. You can check it out on Stir, ROH's wrestling channel, best on the planet.
And
you can also
you saw
YouTube.
the Triller bought fight.
Yeah, yo, that's a big move. But you know what's crazy? WWE was trying to buy Fight not too long ago too.
Swear, for real?
Yeah. They were trying to buy Fight. So could you imagine if they would have gotten Fight and then this deal with Peacock went down? Yo,
damn.
That would have been so huge. Like they would have flipped their money so much. Just think about it. They probably would have offered them, X amount of $1 million. Peacock would have came in right behind them with that deal. We'll give you 1.3 million. That's a big flip. Before we get out, let's see what Mike Angelo has to say here. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised. Like I said, dumb decision to break up Otis and Tucker from the beginning. You broke up all these tag teams just to fire them all. I think that was dumb. I think that's dumb booking, and whoever's booking that inside Vince's mind needs to take a seat. But we at the end of the show, people. Look, gotta remind you all, as usual, too much negativity can have you unbalanced mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Make sure you spread more positive vibes. It takes very little to build someone up than it does to tear them down. Think about the logic inside that message. Also, look, COVID is still here. It's still here. It ain't going nowhere. It's still around. You got 1 shot, you got 2 shots, you got 3 shots, what have you. But the best way to defeat COVID is very easy. It starts off with good hygiene, people. All right. First, you got to make sure that you wash your hands. But most of all, wash your ass. Use soap. And Chiefs, let the people know how they got to do this, Papa.
Remember, from face to ass, not ass to face.
And at that, I guess that's the end of the show. We out, right?
Yeah, I guess this is it for this week.
All right, y'all. Peace. Check out next week.